Hi there, I'm Scott Lowe with ActualTech Media. I'm here today at Unravel, where I'm joined by Stephen Wastie, who is the Chief Marketing Officer. Stephen, thank you for having us in.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
So who is Unravel?
Who is Unravel?
Yes.
Unravel is based in Palo Alto. You brought the sun with you, glad to see. And we were founded to solve a fundamental problem, which is if you're running modern data applications, IoT, machine learning, advanced analytics, then how do you ensure those applications are performing in the way the business needs them to perform? And so we solve performance issues, we solve resource management issues, and we help companies get the most out of those investments.
So data is obviously exploding for lots of reasons. We have the Internet of Things, we have AI, we have machine learning needs, we have just customer platforms where we want to learn everything we can about customers. What are some of the key challenges that people are facing with regard to these huge amounts of data, and how is Unravel helping them solve those challenges?
Yeah, so all these applications are dependent on the data being available, being accurate, and all the systems that support them being available, right? And so if you have an application like an IoT application, as you mentioned, you've got data coming in from many, many different places, and it's coming over streaming technologies like Kafka, it's seeing large data lakes and other systems. And so you've got a lot of systems that are in the way of essentially where the data is coming from and be able to draw an insight and make a business decision. And so what Unravel does is unify all of those elements together such that if there is an issue, a performance issue, for example, they can very quickly identify where that issue is occurring, and then also applying some AI capability to go fix that issue. And so we take essentially the pain, the operational pain out of identification and remediation of solving issues to ensure that an application SLA is met, for example.
Does Unravel support certain applications, or is it an abstraction layer for something else, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we essentially would sit above as a sort of management layer, if you like, a data operations platform, if you wish. So whether you're running Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, NoSQL, any of these technologies, which are really the lifeblood of these data pipelines, then we'll plug into those systems. And we have APIs where we can plug into pretty much any one of these systems. Then we bring all of that data into our own data model and then apply our own analytics and inference to be able to enable that to be available to an operations person to identify where issues are, or to even to application owners so they can actually self-service to identify how to fix issues that occur. So we're not really limited, but we're focused on understanding how all these interactions occur across the full length of the data pipeline.
Do you raise the alert so an operator or a data person can then go make the adjustment, or do you go fix it yourself?
We can do either, right?
Okay.
So we can let somebody know that there's an issue. We can give somebody an insight. We can actually give a recommendation about what to do. And then we can also actually apply some automation to be able to take that action for you on your behalf. We can also tie into the rest of your tool chain. And so, for example, if you're running some DevOps process or you're using things like ServiceNow and PagerDuty, these kind of tools, then we can also feed those systems as well. So it's very, very rich in terms of how you can actually take the information, the insights and recommendations, and then turn them into action.
It's kind of nice. I like the fact that you can either automate this or have it be something that is more self-service.
Yeah, there's lots of reasons you want to do that, right?
Yeah.
There's one, just do things faster. There's two, hey, I've got a limited set of people that can actually have the right skill set to take action on the things that you might see.
Right.
And so we become your expert, if you like, your data expert, by giving you these recommendations that are very specific and very actionable. And then in some cases, you just can't hire enough people to take action on these things. And so, for example, if you can reduce the number of tickets that go into a team, or you can reduce the number of tickets that have to be escalated, that take hours and tens of hours to resolve, then you see an immediate ROI and immediate business value.
So in order to work, you have to have a lot of data at your disposal, too, about how these systems are supposed to operate. Mm-hmm. Where have you gotten that?
Well, so we're continually training the models, if you like. So we're obviously deployed in lots of different places. We have hundreds of millions of data points that we're bringing into the system every day. But also the founding team came out of a computer science project at Duke University, and they spent probably 7 or 8 years actually building the models and training the models. And in the 2 or 3 years that we spent prior to actually going to market with our first product, we were at many of the big data leaders continue to build our own models and build the training data, so we can have impact day one. Right, we have a huge amount of knowledge in the system already about how these systems behave, and then we'll continue to learn and continue to apply that to the training model such that we can take even more accurate and even more frequent actions.
So I'm a customer, I buy Unravel. What are my outcomes on day one and then day 100? What do I see immediately, and what do I start to see long-term benefits by adopting Unravel?
Yeah, so it depends on the problem you're trying to solve for, I think. Like if you're an organization that is using data to make business decisions, which if you're not doing that today, then you will pretty shortly.
Right.
Then operationalizing that and making sure those things are running reliably in production and meeting application SLAs, for example, you're going to hit issues, right? And you do, as you do with any other part of your technology stack. And so very quickly, we can help you operationalize those data pipelines and provide the kind of the reliability and the performance that you need to be able to guarantee SLAs. So pretty quickly, you'll immediately see that impact in terms of SLAs, right? Meeting SLAs and being able to do that reliably and on time. Second thing is here, how do you optimize those environments? For example, if you've got hundreds of applications running on a shared infrastructure with 300, 400 or more nodes of Spark or HDFS or something else similar to that, then how do you optimize that? How do you make sure you're getting the right level of cost per query, cost per application? And so we have all this data about how these applications are performing and how the systems are performing, so you can very quickly optimize the infrastructure. So you're going to see application performance SLAs, improvement in application performance, which really is a kind of top line issue, and then also a bottom line benefit in terms of making sure you optimize that infrastructure as quickly as you can. And then the third element to it, which is pretty interesting, is as people start to think about how these applications sort of morph over time in terms of on-premise versus cloud, being able to make sure you de-risk any cloud migration efforts, right, and reduce the cost of doing those efforts so you don't have to over-provision, for example. So we see a lot of emerging use cases around how do I assess, how do I plan, how do I migrate, and how do I ongoing manage my applications in the cloud or ones that are hybrid and sitting on-premise and cloud.
Awesome. Stephen, thank you for this introduction to Unravel and helping our audience understand what you bring to the world.
Perfect. Thank you.
And thank you to our audience for watching this video.